Hi, I'm Rob the accountant, part co-owner of Amy's Pottery and More and AffordableScreenPrints.com. And so the other day I said I was going to come back, but what happened is my clay supplier told me that my clay would be in here, so I had to finish throwing the rest of the clay. And so I'm going to finish the finishing of this set of clay, these tumblers, so that I can go pick up more clay and rinse and repeat for Christmas and Black Friday. As I had done in a previous video, I don't really know how to tap center. I'm not good with that stuff. It's weird. I'm good at other things, but I'm not really good at certain things, and it would seem logical that centering would be something that I would be good at, but I'm just terrible at it. So the first thing I want to do is say that I continue 1000% to call for a ceasefire in Israel and Gaza. I do not understand how any God-fearing person, I didn't say what your religion is or nothing, just any God-fearing person can sanction the genocide that's going on in Gaza. This is not how we operate, and so I don't want to keep belaboring points because we're not gonna see it. Nobody in America seems to care, and it's just one of those things. It's why America's had its own problems, from the very beginning with Native Americans to slavery, to Jim Crow, to women's suffrage. So, the one thing that seems to be really, accurate about humans is they sure like to repress another group of other people. And so my continued issue is I hope one day that everybody in the whole world who wishes to be free and wishes to have their own life and wishes to not bother somebody else will be given that opportunity to do it without fear of being blown up for how they feel or think. So let's get to work here. We got 30 of them. I got 2 clocks going. As I told folks before, I've got my 220, which is a little bit finer. I got my 100, which is a little bit more coarse. And so we're just going to grab another sheet. I like to start with a new one, and I think we're just going to go right down the middle here. So, we're not going to, disclaimer, use a mask if you want to. I don't. You only live one life, folks. We're all going to die sometime, so whatever. Just be careful. So we're just going to knock these off a little quicker. Just knock off the buds. There's like some burring or whatever. Alright, throw that here so it won't hurt somebody's table. Because glaze is going to go over most of this stuff. So now I need my little 220. And my little 220s I want to just make sure the top where you drink out of right here is a little bit smoother. So I'm just going to take this and just tap it down a little bit. Just make sure, because this is all going to turn into glass. So boom. Same thing with the outer. Just put a little. I take more time with this than the bottom. Bottom just has to be not able to scratch stuff. And that's going to always be the case with pottery or any kind of glass. You don't want, a rough bottom. So there we go. We're good. Perfect. Do the face test. Boom. So how it feels here is how it'll feel when it comes out of the kiln, short of it being stoneware. And it's stoneware clay, so it's going to have some stone in the clay body, right? So that's the whole purpose of it. It is a stoneware clay. It's a little bit different than your glass body. So there we go. All right. And there we go. So you got Black Friday coming up, Thanksgiving. Time's moving kind of slow right now because the clocks went back, right? So everybody's just trying to figure out what they're gonna what they're going to get for Christmas and the holidays this year, and what they're going to be able to spend. Tax season is literally right back around the corner, and that's helpful for some people if you're getting a refund, but for most people it's not too helpful. So what I'm looking forward to is I want to go skiing. I'm ready to go skiing this year, so just working out how I'm going to do the camera so I can get a couple shots while I'm going down. But I like to be on the mountain. Cold doesn't really bother me too much. So there we go. It's just that simple, because the kiln is going to fry everything up on these clay bodies, and your glaze is the glass part of this process, so it'll glass it up, so you don't have to go crazy with it. I know a lot of people like take 30-40 minutes to trim stuff up, but the reality is America's got gas that's $5. It's these are for me are going to be sold at $11. That's what we're selling them at, and they sold for a little bit more at our last festival, so going down in price shouldn't be things. And I'm going to do these with a different kind of glaze. This is a 70 stoneware clay from Mako, but I'm going to use a glaze from Standard Ceramic. I like their glazes better. They just I don't know how to explain it. They're just more beautiful. So I think these are going to look even better, so they should be able to go pretty quickly. We'll see, or they won't go at all. Or they'll go in spring, or they'll go next fall. That's the good thing about potteries. It doesn't, it's not going to decompose. There you go. There it is. Here's number 3. So it's kind of good to see how long this is going to take. Right there, I have 30 of these. I probably won't do the roll ones. I'm not sure about those. These the ones I had shown you. The ones I rolled out. I don't know. I don't know if I want to take up kiln space. I don't know if I can sand them down to make them. Maybe I'll do another video where I just do these 3. I don't know. I don't know. I got a little bit of cracking. That's the other thing with when the clay gets a little thick and you can't get a good compression on it. It cracks up on you. So we'll see. There's that. Cold in New York, as usual. So, I will say this, is that, fundamentally, on Rob the Accountant channel, when I complain about, illegal immigration, fundamentally, the reasons I'm complaining about those things is because, it seems like a group of people in this country are sometimes held to a real high standard when it comes to the criminal law. It might not be the case today. It seems like crime's a little bit rampant, but when I grew up, if you sneezed wrong, there was a consequence. So, in that regard, it just seems better. It just seems better in that regard to complain about the fact that it's the law that's being violated. But I don't have any problem with people who are escaping any repression anywhere and coming here. So a couple weeks ago, the state of New York sent out an email to all the businesses, and it said, do you want to help employ these people? And so I responded and said, yes, I do, because Well, there's twofold. One, Americans as a whole, after COVID, seem to not want to go back to work at all. Um, I don't know. I mean, I work every day. I like to work. I am nowhere near my goals. Maybe 1%. I got 99% more to go. And it's just hard to find any kind of good help. And if all my fellow countrymen don't want to work, or I can't afford them because the wages are just so unreasonable and you have to provide everything. And I don't think a lot of people think about that sometimes. Is when you're a small business, you're trying to make 30 or 40 grand for your family a year after hiring 3 or 4 people. You know what I'm saying? If you're a blue chip company or a Fortune 500, that's a totally different situation. But that's not, 60% of the businesses in America. So sometimes I think it would be better if the policymakers looked up that balance and tried to make it. So when I was young, there was a friend of mine that said, you can't beat them, join them. And so you complain, or I complain, on the other channel about the fact that the law is just tossed away so flagrantly, right? And yet, at a different period of time, there was convictions against a whole host of a single group of people, and they've never gone and rectified that. So it's a matter of not equity, because equity is about things, but it's about fairness and the law being applied equally. So, but outside of that, I'm not angry at anybody. It doesn't bother me. I certainly didn't trek to wherever I had to trek or pay what I had to pay to get here. I was born here. So, I'm not hating on anybody, but I'm gonna hate on the fact that if you have a process and other people have suffered criminally under that process, then you should either go back and clear up all those people you made suffer who were Americans under that process, like reverse all those consequences, take everything off their records, or you should just go back to following the rules. So it's going to be interesting to see what New York says. I don't know what the level of these folks' ability to speak English or any of that is, but if people want to work and they really want to work, then I always wanted an opportunity. Didn't you guys want an opportunity when you were starting out wherever it was? I mean, I know some of you probably are, rich as fuck. Maybe you didn't have to, put anything into it, but all my ilk, or everyone I know, it's the rainbow, by the way. We all came up from different backgrounds, and nobody was fundamentally well off, ever. So you just look at your own life and see where that fits for you, and go from there. But I really like pottery a lot. It's a good, tranquil. Everyone should get into it. It's good to see what you can create with your hands, even if you don't get a wheel, even if it's raku. It's good to be able to see the creative side of human nature. This one I had to get more, because sometimes when I'm compressing the clay on the wheel, it gets really tough. Yeah, you gotta get all that out. So there we are again, smooth, nice and smooth. I'm gonna tap this out a little bit. Boom. That's good. middle of the bag. I remember this. Oh. So I'll probably be back for when these are going to get glazed. So everything doesn't always have to be done the way everybody else does it. You can find your own way to do things as long as you get there, and it'll work out just the same way. Just think about all those cavemen in the world back in the day, all the tools they didn't have, and they still found caves and managed to make it work. Pretty amazing. Alright, so there's our first 8. We're good. I just want to check my film. Reset, move these, and get another 8 moved up, and see you in 2 secs. Bye. Alright, we're back with Rob the Accountant, continuing on preparing our 28 tumblers to be sold. And there goes my dog, Sammy Bear. Probably seen this tail, maybe you don't. But I adjusted the camera so you could get a little bit better visual on it. I went back and reviewed the footage. I wanted to talk about what I wanted to talk about, so I'm not gonna retool it. No, I don't have the ability to go back and remember everything I said. And yeah, sometimes you just got to go with what you did and be with it. You know, live with what your choice was. been thinking about using some underglazes, and I guess you paint them on. You like do like watercolors. You could get a stencil, and you could use all these different colors so they don't run, and then throw basically like a clear coat or a clear glaze over your artwork. And I've been thinking about that, but a lot of the stuff it just takes more time. It's cool, and just with the current economy, I just don't know what the uptick in prices. Like, people are trying to eat, and you know, a cup's nice and stuff, but I don't know if people are going to spend $30, $40 on cups anymore. Just not sure if that's really relevant. Maybe for some people. Maybe for some. Alright. Sometimes I get a little piece stuck in the bottom of the cup. I don't know if you can see that. Just like a little. It's sharp enough that I don't want it there. So I'm gonna take a little of this, pop it in there, and since this is a coarse one, it'll just work its way out. And it's enough. I don't know if you can see that, but it's enough where it's gone now. It's just a little bit, it's just a point. You know, the glaze will go over the rest of it and smooth it out. So we're good there. You know what? Sometimes I want to, got a little bit of line here I want to get rid of, just to smooth it out, because these are going to be two-toned, half glazed. Kind of thick glaze on the outside, so I can try to get them to drip a little bit. And then the bottom is going to be the actual red stoneware, because this turns into a beautiful, if you go look at the 70s stoneware from, is it Lugana? It's Laguna. I said Mako before, but it's Laguna. Laguna clay. And this turns into a beautiful red, deep red. Not like a bright red, like a deep red, brick red, dark red. There we go. All right. On the bottom, I went back to using the 100 to break it down, to break down the roughness, and then just put the finishing 220 to, you know, just to give it a little extra baby softness feel, like baby powder, you know. And there you go. I don't use the coarse at the top, because sometimes the coarse, when you're running around the rim here, because it's coarse, if you look, you see these are really open squares, and sometimes they'll gouge and put little divots in the clay. And I don't want that where people are drinking, right? That would be awful. Boom. Done. I think this is way faster than trying to put 100 of these cups on a wheel, tap center them all, drop them all with clay, you know, because in order to trim them, you got to have the clay footing on it. Some people can do it without the clay foots around the product. And maybe on a bigger pot, sure. But on a cup, you know, when it's all about speed and efficiency, I don't know. To each his own. Some people will say I'm risking my health. Maybe. But same time, you know, I live in a world with lithium batteries, cobalt, bleach, Clorox, plastic, food they don't even want to label with saying it's real or not, antibiotics everywhere, pump me ups, prescription drugs. Yeah, so yeah, I take my chances with the earth. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't bother me. You take the chances with all those drugs and all the food and soda and whatever you want to eat. And I just make some clay when I kick the bucket, like I will one day, like everybody will. You know, it'll be what it is. Maybe I'll have some pots that are still there. Maybe some people will bring some of these cups to my funeral and fill them up with some nice candles for me. I don't know. I won't be there, so I won't give a crap. You always wonder, you know, are people watching their own funeral when they die? You know, are you sitting there in some world of purgatory? And you're like, man, look at all these people that came. Man, look at that guy over there, Nelson. He's talking shit about me. That would be so cool. Oh well, we won't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. You just know that nobody knows. Because you're gone. Alright. Look at that. There's 4. So we'll have an actual pretty good time on this by the time these are all done. I have 28. And we'll have 4 8-cup segments. Even though there won't be 8 cups on the last segment. Just 3? Maybe 4? Who knows? They say I have 28 or 27. Whatever. It'll be 4 segments. You know, I probably could get a drill and outfit a brush, drill bit brush, with these screens with some backing tape on it, and I could probably do all this with a drill. That would even be quicker. Then you're gonna have more dust blowing in your face, so you got to keep that in mind. Boom. Don't want to use sandpaper. it'll get gummed up so quick, it'll be gone before you even know it. Here we go. Oh wow. Ah! That's the other thing. When you're throwing, you made a mistake on the wheel, but you still have your cup there. When you use these screens, you know you can fix it. So you just let it dry up, and you go to town on it. Everybody always makes things so complicated. What I like to do in life is jump in and see what you can learn about something, and have fun with it in a way that you want to have fun with it. The world's too big to get plugged into single ideologies. Oh no! Okay. Well, oh, there she is. I lose sight of my 220 here. Boom. Good there. This one turned out pretty well. Careful not to put a lot of pressure on the outer side of the top of the clay. You see my clay's pretty thick and stuff, but if you put too much pressure sanding it, it will crack and break on you. Alright. Another bad dry piece of clay here. I know every time it's a bad piece of dry clay is because I got multiple layers of trying to build the cup up and then collapsing it back down. This one's going to be a pain in the ass. This one I don't care, it's just so thick. Just kick it down a little bit. See? And as you can see, you can fix it, right? So it looked all terrible, and it was. And there it is, it's all fixed. Now I can feel the coarseness of that heavy grit, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to kick the whole thing down a little bit, smooth it all out. The stone feeling's nice, but you don't want too much of a stone feeling. The stone feeling can be smoother and more smoothness like cotton than when you use the finer grit. I used to do body work back in the days when I was 20 years old. I had a small body shop. Used to do a lot of stuff with Bondo, tiger hair. It was really fun, but it's a different day, and regulations were different then. We're just gonna tap this down here, because we put so much heavy grit into it. And there we go. It looked beautiful. Alright, and there's another 8 done. Okay, so we're going to reset the camera, push another 8 forward, and get these 8 done, and then, actually I got to get them all done, because then I have to get cleaned up, and I don't want to get dirty again later for 3. So let me get this reset, and we'll be back here to do another 8 in a couple seconds. Thank you so much. Alright, we're back again. Let's get these last 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 knocked out. Alright. Let's see where we go. Let's start from the farthest. I got some new, cut off some more pieces so we can go a little quicker. And here we go, back to work. This is what you do every day if you're going to be a potter and sell pottery in some capacity. Also got a new piece of fine. Glaze is just clay anyway, so that's why you don't have to spend a lot of time making it perfect, because you're going to put another clay body over it with the glaze, unless you're leaving the piece unglazed, and then you want it to look good. Alright. tip down here. A little too rough for me. Too much of a sharp edge. There you go, you hear it? Just getting those burrs off, you know? Okay, I like that better. Upside down. The next one, switch our thing out. Okay. Ah! No! will probably go in the bisque kiln tomorrow. And then I think my glaze won't be here until next week, so I will film it. The mixing of the glaze, and I'm gonna dip all these. I'm not painting. I'm so tired of painting glazes on. It's the most, it's the most tedious, time-consuming, painful thing in the world, and I just don't want to do it. I would much rather dip or dunk, whatever you want to call it, not painting. I don't mind this because you gotta finish off your product no matter what in clay. Clay is an unfinished product, whether it comes out of a slip cast, whether it comes off a wheel. It's just got to be trimmed up. It's got to be cleaned. It's part of the production process. So it's just really what you want to do with it. And again, you know, I know an experienced potter, probably like John the Potter, who doesn't have to put on clay pedestals every time he centers something, could probably get through these cups in the same, probably a little bit quicker than I am. But we're just talking about like regular schmoes, like me and you. Like, people who are doing this are another line. This is the support, really. It was meant to support my accounting practice around the holidays, but I ran into the shipping problem with trying to ship it out, and it's just too costly. And we just don't charge enough on our taxes to be spending another $25 per person, so we'll figure something out. And there we go, nice and smooth. Leave it go alone. Remember, the glaze is going to do a lot of your work for you. It's like a house. Anyone can make the final product look good. It's what's underneath. This is still clay. It's not going nowhere. It's just how much finishing do you want to take with it. And I think we're good about there. On this one, let's just here, somewhat of a perfectionist. That was one. Whew. He was rough. Excuse me. All right, we got 8 down. I'm just gonna reset the camera because I feel it'll be easier for me, and we'll knock out these last 4. Thank you so much for watching Amy's Pottery and More with Rob the Accountant, co-owner of Amy's Pottery and More, and also co-owner of AffordableScreenPrints.com. Hope you run over there and check things out. A lot of the stuff that we're doing is either for decoration or anything related to apparel. So if you have a business or you have logos or whatever you might have, reach out. Then talking to some affiliates relative to finding products and solutions that actually help people who jump into whatever you're going to jump into, whether it's a business, whether it's pottery, so that what might be linking on my websites are things that can help you complete that task one way or another. So let's roll this camera to a stop real quick, move these around, get this last 4 done, and I'll leave you to our last 4. Let's do this. Alright, number 28. What it looks like. And there you have it, number 28. I'll see you in a moment for the closing. Thanks for watching. And there you have it. We have 28 finished tumblers ready to go. You know what would be really nice is if somebody in the comments wanted to tell me what the actual total time was. I'm thinking it's about 1 minute and 25, minute and 15 seconds per cup, but I'm unsure. So, you know, if we take, I think I'm going to have 45 minutes worth of recording time. Maybe, let's just say the whole 45 minutes it took on 28 mugs. So the question is, could we tap center and could we trim these on the wheel in the same amount of time prior to them going into bisque? Thanks for watching Amy's Pottery and More. I'm Rob, the accountant, co-owner of Amy's Pottery and More, and co-owner of AffordableScreenPrints.com. Thanks for watching. I'll be back next week as we glaze these 28 tumblers for Black Friday and the upcoming season. And so now you know what it's like, that if you want to get into pottery, make pottery, finish pottery, glaze pottery, and sell pottery, you can understand some of the time commitment associated with this task. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. And once again, thanks for watching Amy's Pottery and More.